Alright, morning of day 2. Pouring rains last night, thunderstorms came through. It took a long time to bail out the boat. Gonna finish off the rest of it by just pulling the plug. Plan for today is we're gonna head down to what we call the cut, which is the joining of Little Makokibatan and Big Makokibatan. We had some good luck with walleyes there yesterday. Then we're gonna check out what the wind situation is, because right now we're in a sheltered bay, but I can already see it's pushing pretty good where we're exposed. If it's not too bad, we're gonna venture out onto the big lake, but just the kind of the eastern portion of it. We're going to skate along the eastern portion. We're going to get to one of the 2 southern outflows, and then we're going to make our way down river. You know, working the eddies and the neck downs and the pike bays along the way. You know, that'll keep us out of the wind, and we'll have plenty of juice to be able to get back up though. So without further ado, okay, afternoon of day 2. Battery screwed up this morning, so no filming. And you can tell by the fact that the toques and gloves are on that we've got some temperature issues. About 10 degrees without the wind. I think it feels like 5, something like that. So let's see whether or not the fish can. This morning we fished the outflow of the Albany as it splits off around Tansy Island, eventually heading down to Walleyes Lake. We made it down pretty far. A couple things. One, huge volume, like a lot of water moving down there, but also the temperature was about 7 to 8 degrees cooler on the outflow than where we are here on one of the multiple inflows. Again, this is from one of the smaller adjacent lakes. This time of year, you're looking for warmer water. When we fished this lake area last year, this is at the bottom of an inflowing river. At the time, it was more of an inflowing creek. But this whole area, basically from that rock point and everything in here, was just chock full of walleye and some big ones. This year, I mean, we've had very few contacts in this area down at the bottom, but far more, you know, up in the river. So I think that kind of just goes to show you that, you know, the fish are probably still hanging out around where they were spawning, and where the water's the warmest, and where the, you know, maybe the food is most readily available. And this is the time of the year when, you know, the feeder fish, the greeks, the minnows and stuff they'll be up the river from their spawn too. So gotta find them, gotta find the fish, right? Days of the trip, it's high winds, like not below 20 kilometers an hour. The challenge, what's tough, is that this is a great area to just cast. But right now, between the current and the wind, you'll get blown into the bushes so fast. Better hit, but not that big a fish. So what we do normally is if we go in neutral to land the fish, the other guy will then just fan cast around. Quite often you get doubled up. Nice thing when you're fishing two different baits, you gotta figure out if one is outperforming the other, all things being equal. So right now I'm using just a pure white on a 1/4 ounce jig. And in the short run it seems to be doing a bit better. Chris landed two beautiful fish this morning, a nice, biggest I think it was 26.5, the other one was around, what, 24.5, 25? Like real nice. But remember, I'll link photos to them right about now. We're supposed to get more rain tonight, and tomorrow is supposed to rain all day. Like a good chunk of rain, like around 10 millimeters. 5 overnight, 10 during the day, another 5 or 10 at night, so we'll see if we actually get that, but and the wind. So tomorrow will probably be the worst day for combined rain and wind. Today was quite cool, and we got another day later in the week where it's going to be pretty chilly. The thing is, what we need is warm weather to get this water temperature up. So we're at 54 degrees right now, and that's the warmest water we have found. So I mean, this is a first world problem that, you know, we're away on a remote fly-in fishing trip and the weather is not that great, and you know, we're only catching, say, you know, 50 fish a day as opposed to 100. This is also the part of the day we start thinking about the really nice spaghetti and meatballs, garlic things that we're gonna have for dinner. Wood stove. Yeah, a little fire on the wood stove. Maybe a second hot chocolate. We were recording previously, and then it got pretty windy, and then the video battery has died and I didn't know it. So the wind has substantially reduced since last. We actually got on a huge run of fish, so we'll see if we can catch that up again. Like right there, actually. See what he is. It's I've stuck with a jig. Chris has gone to a small crankbait. Again, it's kind of proven to us what we've suspected, is that, you know, the warmer weather, the warmer water is in the river. And that's, you know, just enough to get the bite on over here. So So it's nice. I mean, you're a couple days in and you're catching lots of fish and you've got some big fish, but we need to figure out some other places. So we've got to unlock the pattern. There are other spots we can get to that will have warmer water and current, but it requires us traversing 25 kilometers of open big water with huge waves, and that's not super exciting and safe to think about. So the wind will drop down later in the week. Hopefully it drops sooner than that, because we'd love to get up there. There's great fishing, great scenery, but to get there, it's just not worth it right now, the risk. How many fish have I caught since you switched to that lure? 6 or 7. Okay, so how about if I catch 10, you have to switch to something else? If I go on a 10-0 run, you have to switch. There's one. He's off, right? It doesn't count. That was heavy, by the way. Was it? Yeah. Maybe I should be checking my hooks. Oh. So I get sore back often when I'm fishing for the first few times of the year, but what also really hurts is I had a huge wipeout back at the camp where I slipped on some plywood. I just, kind of like when you fall on ice and your hands are in your pocket, I fell, I landed, boom, smack dab. So I'm pretty uncomfortable. Okay. One of the things that we get asked about too is water. So the water that we drink up here, this particular camp that we're at with Brace Lake Outfitters, does have running water, comes out of a gravity tank, but it hasn't been treated in any way. So for years now, I've been using a platypus gravity filter. And so here, basically comes this, you get a dirty bag, it's called. So you fill this water up. So you want to get it from as clean a source as possible, so we get this direct from the lake. And then from that, you have a filter. So it's going to come from the dirty bag here. Clip that in. Once I turn it on, it'll come through here. This is what filters it out, and then it goes into the clean bag. Now, all we have to do is open this up. Right, so the water will start to go in, but the water will flow very slow at first, and because there's air in the line, air in the system. So what I like to do is just have a little bit of water left over, and as I lift this up above, you'll see here as the bubbles are coming out, and it'll work its way up. And then once you get the bubbles out, then it'll start to flow a little bit better. But over time, you just kind of it loses some of its efficiency, but it doesn't lose its effectiveness. And so we'll leave this now, and this will fill up, and then all this water will pour into this, clip it off, and then that's ready to drink. And that's what we use to make our powdered milk, to fill our juice containers, what we use to do our ice cube trays. And I mean, you can boil it, which is fine, but this is just nice because it's ready to go right off of that. And then when you're bringing your food, some of the things we think about is what can we bring that just requires just add water, so to speak. So like pancakes we had this morning, blueberry pancakes, just add water, we got clean water, mix it up. Boy, you can hear that wind just ripping out there. So anyways, that's a thing. I've also got a small 1 liter Be-Free. It's called this Catarine filter, which is great to have in the boat to have a quick drink of water, but this will take 4 liters of water. So over the course of the week, you know, it's a better system. Okay. Morning of day 3. Week's going fast. Leaving the cabin, although pretty soon we're gonna be able to just boat right up to the cabin the way the water's rising. So our plan today is we're gonna just zip on down to what we call the cut. There's another group that's up here in the other cabin, and you know, if they're fishing it, we'll give them their own space because it's, you know, part of the nice thing is to have this kind of remote feel, so we'll let them have it. May fish the other side of it. And then what we're hoping is, because the wind has changed coming out of the southeast, we're planning a big run. We got about 20, once we get out of the big water, we got about almost 30K that we've got a boat. And then we're just gonna hope that the wind allows it. Put on the life vests and everything as we go. And if so, that's gonna give us all new water. We're gonna try out some spots that have worked for us in the past. So let's see what happens. We've got till about early afternoon, then thunderstorms come in which case we're going to need to be much closer to home when those hit. Let's go. Yay. What is it looking like? Yeah. Up. That was a really soft bite. Really? You got a walleye and I got a northern? That's funny. Need to put this. Was I? Try this. So I've got a bigger 5-inch ripple shad on. One of the walleyes I caught over there spit out. Had to have been about there we go, 6-inch, you know, minnow carcass. So it's not the size that's the challenge. Another snake. So not super happy with what's happening here. There's behind you. So little guy. And you can fully expect walleye and pike to be together. The ratio is not what we're looking for here. Although, you know, they could be, you know, a little further down.
Well, these guys out here are catching them with the catching, huh?
They're vertical. Another pike. This might just be proof that we gotta get out of here, right? Yeah, another little pike. Where are those pliers? What do you think?
Yeah, that was really nice. My day.
Alright, let's try this.
It's the pike's turn to be here, and they have all the right spot.
Shortage of fish here. Just not getting the right ones.
What an accomplishment! Good job, Scott. Way to break the cycle. Nice eye.
There he is. 20. 32. Alright, what do you want to do? Got like maybe 3 walleyes there. Not much. Save some for the rest of us, eh?
And catch them all.
Too many pike. Yeah. Should we answer that might be?
Oh my gosh, it's a walleye. Shocking. Good bite.
Minutes of boating, we're probably like 2/3 of the way down. Big waves. driving for a second here. This is a spot called the Sand Flat. We'll maybe get a separate image of it for you, but basically there's a point and a huge sand point where a flat goes out probably 200 feet, I would say, in points, and has like these little finger drop-offs. And it'll be challenging to hold the line in this weather. But if you can get on those breaks, it'll go from like 8 feet to 30 feet instantly. And that can be an excellent spot, you know, to pick up some fish. And when we were out here last time, I can't say that we caught a lot of fish, but the fish that we caught were pretty big. So that's kind of what we're hoping for now. And we do have some imagery of the bottom from last time we were here, so we're going to see if that comes in handy. But this is a chance for us to fish a spot that we wanted to, but it's also a chance just to give us a little bit of a break from the pounding of the water. See that behind me, but there is a ton of Canada geese making the journey. So what's the water temp over here? 50. So a little warmer than where it was downstream. Let's see here. This whoa, there we go. Measure, I'm just gonna gauge. Guess, right? Be able to get that out there. Not big enough to take a picture of, I don't think. Yeah. All right. Well. There you go. Came out here. Like I said, we were never overly convinced to be here, but yeah, this is more of a stop and take a breather kind of thing too. But the sun's supposed to come out today, and it sure looks like it's trying. You know what? We really feel bad for the other groups that are flying into camps this week, because man, it would have been some real tough weather for them to get in. So yeah, you got pants there. We got about another 100 feet into this run, and then we'll keep her going. And because we've switched sides of the lake, we're actually behind this sand point. We've got a good chunk of time when we'll be protected from the wind. Just got to keep an eye on the depth. But that'll be a bit of a respite, and we could pull the plug out and get some of the water that's out of here. That'll speed us up too, get rid of some of the extra weight. Big log there. Yeah, big log over there. day of the pike, unfortunately. Not me. Snake, I think. Okay, so Albany River inflow. We came up from here. We fished back there, which is walleye alley. We caught some off that point, but the current's so strong it can't hold us. We were tied off to a tree. We're just in an eddy here. You can see the current ripping along here. We're heading up here, and then there's an island up here that we've fished before. We can tuck behind it. So let's go. Fish. What's the motor, eh? Nice. Where'd you get him? Okay, so where we're looking to go is in this opening here. Maybe we'll troll our way up, but last year we couldn't get in because it was so rocky, but if we can get through, it opens up and gets deeper and there's some holes. So we're gonna see what this can do, and by the looks of it, we're gonna have a bumpy ride on the way home. There's about 5 foot there. Fish? Any good? Down. Big eye. Real big eye. you're doing a mustache, yeah. Okay.
More.
Yeah. There's a fish. I think it's a pike. I give it points for the hit though. It's not giant, whatever it was. If it's a walleye, it'll be I think a walleye, yeah. It's not small. It's already off. Who's that back there? Fish? Bald eagle up there. Be nice to get on a walleye bite again. It's got a bit of weight. Oh yeah.
One?
Is that?
Anyways, right?
I think it's longer than that actually. Maybe, eh? How's that? Yeah. Still big eye.
Average size is
yeah. That's it. That's better. See in a second here. It's hard because, you know, when you're going up, but it's not bad. Yeah, that's a good walleye. I think it's similar to the last one. Chunker, eh? What do you think you give him?
one.
Oh, it's 22 and a half. Okay. Try this little pike bait here. Just got one. We're gonna thread the needle, get through this next one. Briefly fished this pool up here where we picked up some walleye earlier, and then we are going to make the journey home. Build up back there, and there's some build up ahead, and it's calling for thunderstorms. we probably got at least, once we actually put the pin down, we probably got at least 45 minutes to an hour to get back to, maybe not an hour to the cabin, 45 minutes probably back to the cut. And so it's not one of those things where you want to wait for the, you know, the thunderstorm to be on you. You got to get well ahead of it when you're this far away. My line was twisted around the end of my rod tip there, so I set the hook, but I couldn't reel in to get him.
Oh, it's got a weight to it. Yeah. Starting to lose weight. And now he's happy. Not fighting at all. Just feels heavy.
Oh, big eye.
Got him. Yeah. Badly placed finger. My bad. Some weight.
To have some good weight in this hole, eh? That's small. There was a light hit. Sometimes the lighter the hit, the bigger the fish. It's got to be in that same category. I'm going to stay down like that. See him. Yep. Assuming you can. Yeah.
There it is. Quality eye.
Yeah, same way, same class, eh?
That's good. Yeah. Picture of him on a bright sunny day. It's hard to tell until they decide to get to the boat. He doesn't feel as heavy as the other one, but he's not going to be a sponge. That's just another fish.
This I should lay in my hand.
Got it? Yeah. Oh, I'll see if you need a net. I can pass it.
I think I can get this. It's not that big. Nice. Oh.
It's gone.
What do you got there?
Beauty.
This will be a good afternoon of day 3. Thunderstorm watch, tornado watch. We're walking down to get our gear. Of course, we have to walk over the lake. So as you're walking, because these planks are floating, and you can see here the wind is blowing the lake right up over the beach. There's our boat. It's a beautiful warm day, and this is actually the wind settling down. Whew. Okay, let's give a little State of the Union here. It is, what are you, day 3? Day 3. It is the evening, so it's 6:45, day 3. We woke up this morning and it was pretty windy, but we wanted to get down to the east side of the lake. We knew that was going to be a big run, and it was. So I'd say it probably took us, I mean, we stopped to fish one point, but it's got to be over an hour. Yeah, so but over an hour, we went up and fished what was called, Walleye Alley, and I mean, it's really, you've heard me say this a bunch of times, it's huge water. Like, the water is way up, the current is way up. So we fished Walleye Alley. We caught a couple of fish up there, I don't know, like maybe 5, 6 in this one spot. Got a nice walleye there, a bigger one. Then we went up, and then some of the spots that we wanted to eddy out in and stuff, it's just, there really are no eddy out spots there. It's just a big, massive current. So then came down, and then there's another spot that we want to get into on the extreme east. There's a little bit of an inflow, if you want to call it that, with a couple of bigger bays in behind. But last year we couldn't get in because it was so low. I mean, the rocks were there, but we were able to get into it, and then we got into this nice hole, which couldn't have been maybe the size of a basketball court, but we caught several big fish in there. I mean, I don't think we caught a fish under 20 inches in that spot, which was great. And then we said, geez, we got to get out of here, because we knew that the forecast for the afternoon was going to be thunderstorms. So we made the long drive back, and then we got back to what we call would be the cut. We fished there for maybe 5-10 minutes. We were going to maybe think about grabbing a small walleye or two and having them for dinner, but the wind just came, it really got raging on us. So we got back, we put the boat in, and that's when we got back, we got the power going, and we have Wi-Fi here, so we got satellite Wi-Fi. That's when the weather report started coming in of thunderstorm watch, hail-sized thunder to quarter size, and tornado warnings. So we're actually under tornado warnings right now, and it is just ripping. So what do you do when you're at a remote camp and you can't go fishing? Because, I mean, you can't. I mean, we couldn't even launch the boat if we wanted to right now. The wind's coming in that strong. So what we did, we had a couple showers, had a nap, cut up a bunch of wood because it is going to get freezing cold later in the week. And we decided we're going to make some homemade pizza. So we got the dough here, we got the cheese. We're going to pop that in, and we'll probably break out the iPad and watch a movie, and because we're not going to be able to get out because the tornado watch is on for hours still. So there you go. So good news is we got out fishing. Bad news is we lost the afternoon, but it wasn't a complete loss because it gives us a chance to charge up our fish fighter batteries and get ourselves organized. And we'll cap it off with a bit of za. Next time you see us, hopefully we're on the water on day 4. If you're ever looking for a great fishing trip meal, if you've got the facilities, how about a little homemade pizza? Pepperoni, bacon, ground beef. Happens to come with this huge pan. In we go. Okay, I'm gonna pull the pizza out of the oven. One thing you should always bring on a flying trip, oven mitts. Learn the hard way. Let's have a look how this guy does. Are you kidding me? Remote fly-in trip. Giant pizza just for us.